Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Sight, Defender of the Fatherland, your Lord and Master. Off here to 1 vs 1 on Crossroads. Between the south, we got Caesar fighting here for the Oberkommand West, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the 23rd Panzer Division versus the north, we got Redxwings fighting for the king and country, the Commonwealth. Taking on the role here of the 11th Armored Division. We're looking at Spec Ops, Scavenge, Fortifications with Triple Infantry versus Commando, Royal Artillery and Royal Engineer with Double Infantry and tank. And here for Redxwings, with the Universal Care build there on the way to immediately support its infantry with Caesar's Sturmpioneer rushing for the cemeteries, hoping to maybe inter a few Tommies there before time, with Volksgrenadiers following up here for Caesar. No Kubelbangs for him, so Redxwings going to be the more, well, mechanized player here in the early game. We'll have to see how much it makes use of the Universal Care to what effect. Section opening up in the Sturmpioneer, Lee Enfield Rifles versus Sturmgewehr 44. We've got forces flanking against the section, though catching his Redwing section in a pretty nasty crossfire. Trying to fall back there, realising perhaps the western approach is not going to have as immediate great effect here for him. Seasoning about, he grabbed the point here in the west, and we got the second section out there for Redwings. Universal Care moving in, there we go, going to open up with Volksgrenadiers there with its Bren gun mounted in the front. Shooting a few shots there. Fourth section moving up. You're going to grab the victory point again, at least attempt to. And second section now being sent eastwards to grab Trojan. I mean, he now knows where most of the enemy is, so he feels like probably can sort of get him made with just sending a section over there. He tries to push for the fuel point here. Sturm Pioneers, though, taking more hits now. Section Universal opening up. He's going to push him in Universal. There we go. Sturm Pioneer sent running. Fultz goes nearby. He's going to try and grab the fuel point here. I imagine Redwings will be going for another section. They could go for a Vickers machine gun as well to help deal with those dastardly Germans. Academy flying up for Caesar to deal with the Universal Care. Obviously a big threat to Caesar, in particular. Redwings managed to upgrade with the Vickers K. Can do a lot of damage to the infantry very fast. I don't actually know if they actually mounted the Vickers K in the Universal Care. I know they mounted a variety of machine guns, including the 50 caliber, I believe. They also mounted anti-tank guns. And the Germans, which actually captured a whole bunch in Dunkirk, actually a bunch equipped with Panzerschrecks using them as tank hunters. In Normandy, actually, I believe they were part of the 9th Panzer Division. You got a section engaging the Volks, pushing them out there. Finding out Mac range, Universal moving in. Might push for the cough. We've got a section ready to sort of dissuade any Germans from trying that. With a few well placed shots. Warning shots, if you will, though a bit more accurate than most warning shots, I suppose, would be. But there you go. Continue to push for the eastern fuel point. Suddenly turn the tables and Caesar's fuel raid. Falls there down to just 2 men. My God, Sigurd Ludwig, it's only us. We have to run. Sturmpioneer flanking up behind here. Universal Care there with 0 kills, but still doing these amount of damage there to Caesar's forces. Caesar Care moving in there, might have a good chance of getting the Universal Care. Depends how we go. Shoots. And oh, the Sturmpioneers on the focus down. Oh, no mind, they got it. That's a bit of a loss there for Redwings. That is a bit of a loss there for Redwings. So of course still has an impact on Caesar and the 23rd Panzer Division. Grabbing points here, setting out here with a Vickers machine gun. Actually, 21st Panzer Division, I believe the 23rd fought on the eastern front. Never mind me, silly me. Section moving up and getting like Kenmare for there. Trying to hunt it down, there you go. Force Caesar to treat that one as well. Another push for the cough point, there you go. Vickers this time set up, halting the Germans in their tracks quite violently. Take up there for Redwings. He's rendering the point neutral, though he's taking quite a bit of damage. In fact, the unit's, well, taking loss, but down to half health. They'll be got a try on the way. They'll likely be the battle group headquarters. Of course, he doesn't have fuel for mechanized, even remotely, but also because he's likely to find himself needing some healing long term as well. They've got some medical supplies up there. Very good. No munitions on their hand for the incendiary grenades to flush the section out of cover. Pushing westwards here with Volksgrenadiers. Northern nations are being secured so far. Redwings is leading nicely here versus Caesar. He was finding himself struggling a bit here with Redwings' tactics so far. Sapper's following up there. Grabbing the centre victory point, grabbing the western fuel point. No doctrines yet for either player. Truck around there, consider for the battle group headquarters, in which case you might consider some MG-34s. Or maybe, just maybe, he might consider some light infantry guns to help counter that machine gun. There you go, grabbing the western fuel point, or at least attempting to again. Eastern one has so far not quite been playing out well there for Caesar. Redwings continue to have a strong start here versus Caesar. Battle group headquarters up, or Kampfgruppe Hauptquartier. Volksgrenadiers thinking about section taking up positions here. Almost got their viewpoint there. Using the Vickers to grab the point. Section grabbing the victory point. Healing reinforcement. Battle headquarters almost done for Caesar. At this rate, I could see him. Well, if you have Breakford, I'd say go for that one for some Panzerfusilier, but it doesn't have that. So maybe scavenging with some Jaeger infantry. That way, sort of push against Redwings with some core infantry could be an option. Battle group headquarters up. We'll have to see if he goes for what here. Still the time for one to go for the MD Fed Force section flanking up. Oh, Steampars flanking the section. Incendiaries going off as well. Sappers moving in. Rushing into the house, which doesn't actually bother him because the Steampars will be in the other end of the house, so they're actually not being affected by the incendiary grenade at all. That's the important thing to keep out with grenades and such. They're sort of dependent on whether units are stationed inside the building, if they actually take damage or not. So, I mean, for Caesar here, the incendiary grenade is absolutely no problem compared to Redwings, and was fighting in this direction, so his troops took a lot of damage. But there you go. Concentrating all his forces here for a mighty attack against Redwings, who clearly underestimated Caesar's tenaciousness. He finds himself forced back to his base for now. Got a Vickers setting up here, anticipating a sweep from the west here towards the east. Very good move there by Redwings. Very good move, halting the Volksgrenadiers squad there, immediately getting a kill. But with the western fuel point, Caesar can also begin pushing up maybe for some flak half tracks soon, and then again he might anticipate armoured cars and just figure a flak half track is just going to end up being a waste of resources. There are a few potential sort of thoughts here Caesar might be having. Also, we got bolstered sections up for Redwings, further increasing the manpower available to him in the front line. Alright, Jenkins, you're the fifth man now. Try not to embarrass yourself or the king, or anyone else really. Except maybe the Germans, by killing them. Big push here, a lot of sections. That is more than one Volksgrenadier squad can handle. Even the most valiant, most heroic will not be able to hold off against that many sections. Now he does go for the flak half track. He is not worried about the AC or Mark III. Or it's either that or he's just thinking is more of a concern he actually can, deal with the sections rather than worry about the AC. I mean, there's a few potential thoughts here that Caesar could be operating under versus Redwings. Sturm Pioneer push back, Volksgrenadiers holding up here. Also note this match was sent in to me by a fellow named Philip, and not by any of these two players. I didn't even observe it. So just a quick note there. Big thanks to Philip Barber. You can also send in replays you might observe by the email address in the video description. If they're good players, if we do it, if you're sending in your own replays, do tell me we're on the leaderboard section of, there might be some worth to it, which might sound a bit harsh, but people want to see exciting stuff. And I don't want to have to spend time going through every single replay all the time. That can actually be quite time consuming. Anyways, got battle group headquarters up here for Caesar, with medics on the way now, of course. Flak half tech spawn the Volksgrenadiers. Assault rifles being handed out there for Caesar's men as well. Also in the description you can find links where you can donate or pledge on Patreon if that should interest you in supporting the good old Propagandacast. But that's that. Flak half tech moving up here, catching the sappers here with the 2 cm flak loose. Attempting to, we got mines in the cover there. Like a very explosive practical joke. And there you go, artillery called in here. And go on here for the artillery or pyrotechnic supplies. Very good. Flak half track sets off the mine, killing also some Volksgrenadiers as well. That was not, I think, a well considered move there by Caesar. And nope, oh, he's lacking Sturmpioneers right now, so there's no way of actually repairing the flak half track fast enough. Redwings and Nimos just pulling ahead here for tech. Company command post going up for them. Back here reinforcement. And we got a Sturmpioneer squad number 2 on the way there for Caesar. Grabbing points here, grabbing points there. Sturmpioneer squad almost down there for Caesar for the 21st Panzer Division. Sapper setting out. Artillery going off there, the 25-pounder guns, which I think is roughly around 77 or 82 millimeters. I can't quite remember specifically. A venerable artillery piece that's used quite a bit in the British Army, also in several cases served as anti-tank guns, in particular in North Africa. They found themselves very much utilised in that role. So a little fun fact there. Not the most effective ones, but they did see usage there. In fact, most artillery pieces could be used as anti-tank guns for firing armor-piercing rounds. In fact, the Germans found themselves using their 105mm howitzers quite a bit for that on the Eastern Front during Operation Barbarossa. So a few fun facts there. MD-34 on the way for Caesar, a machine gun gewehr number 2. He's still struggling in the map control against Redxwings. One option would be just, instead of trying to fight, he'd just push up here in the west, sort of his hard, but we shall see what Caesar does. It didn't exactly help him. He lost the flak half track though. But we can see that Caesar, or Redxwings, is anticipating Caesar's going to make a move towards here. So of course, in this regard, Caesar would much more benefit from just attacking towards the western point instead. But he's heading for the eastern fuel. He wants to defend it. He wants it back. It is his. Deutschland's. But a bit his. And there you go, the same got a big push here, but they got a silly called in to disrupt the assault here, but there you go, sections pushed back, flak half tank on the far from the anti-tank gun, pushing Hedbeger's remains. So he's basically making a smaller feint towards the east, it seems like, when he makes the main effort towards the western fuel point. That way, overwhelming Redxwings in some ways, and clearly not anticipating a big push into the west like that. Caesar and Redxwings have yet to choose a doctrine, though. There is sort of no indication of anything there from either player. Heading the cutoff point there, moving straight for the fuel point as well. Points being seized left, right. MD-34 needs to be set up. Be careful, their flak half-tech could also keep sort of elements there covered. Folks are collapsing. I can't remember what's going to run off. Getting a bit rough here for Caesar. Sabres, though, are brutally halted in their tracks, and so is another section. Flak half-tech needs to be repaired here. Almost got the cutoff point there. Got fuel point almost rendered neutral. Caesar, Redxwings can soon go for armor here versus Caesar. Very soon. Reinforcing, MD-34 folks moving towards the center victory point. Grab the point here, grab the point there. Center victory point secured, or being secured. Victory points was also going to lead there for Redxwings, so as Caesar. Overall, not the best start here for Caesar so far. We got more might in the same spot from Redxwings. Figuring that if the Germans set it off once, they'll likely set it off twice. And there you go, mine goes off there. Redxwings all displaying good mining. No upgrades for his men though beyond the bolted sections. No grenades, no Bren guns. Western fuel point secured again here for Caesar. MD-34 reinforcing healing. Flak type moving out. And B got the line for the gun here. Caesar obviously is not looking too good attack wise. Instead will soon get hit by tanks. In fact, he's probably going to need a 7 Academy to have a chance versus Redxwings armoured force. In fact, he's going straight for Anvil. He likes Anvil. He's not so much of a camo man, it seems. More of an Anvil type. As for what his favourite brand of Anvil is, I don't know, maybe Acme. Anyway, securing the victory point there, securing the fuel point, MD-34 coming the centre. So a bit more sort of go here with the Caesar, just a bit more, not a lot. There you go, flak half taking them in the house there, 270 the high explosive rounds going through the windows, through the walls, through the doors. Almost got points here, laying down mines of his own in the sandbags. Caesar thinking if Redxwings can do it, so can he. And some players generally don't anticipate their own tricks being utilised against them. D34 coming up here, protecting slightly the western fuel point there. So with this, Caesar's now a bit more map controller versus Redxwings. So of course, Redxwings very much has the opportunity to turn around, and particularly goes for the Churchill tank here. Caesar's gonna be rather under-equipped. He's gonna at least, a lot of chems. There we go. He's going for spec ups. See, the problem is, command power wise, it's gonna take some time to attack to get out anything. You might in fact be better off just trying to, tack up and go for medium armor instead of just trying to rely on call-ins. But there you go. Last turnaround here. Flak half track repositioning to deal with some of those dastardly Tommies. There you go, shredding them with the truth in the flak. Scotland, there you go. Anti-tank lance got it on the flak half track, forcing that one to retreat. Back here, reinforcement healing going up for Caesar, nothing further in Redxwing space. Well, nothing further either. He's just floating munitions, in fact, floating a ton of manpower, could be building fuel caches. A lot of things with that manpower. They're really good to go for doctrines, calling commandos. You call in sextons, valentines, a lot of things really. It's just, there seems to be a bit of this, And clarity there from Redwings, lack of clarity there from Redwings. We've got the Volksgrenadiers moving up here, they're hitting the Kauf one again. And he's losing the western field, and we can see the Volksgrenadiers on the job. We can see mines again by the cover. At this stage, of course, the Caesar I think is going to be on to Redwings about this trick. And will likely be, well, most likely I suspect, less likely. Could of course, still run into it, maybe having forgotten. But I'm assuming Caesar's going to be, be paying attention to what Redwings increasingly does. There we go, avoids cover there. You can even lay down this for some fresh cover there. He really though should take out. I mean, trying to play for the Command Panther right now is going to be a really weak choice. He's also going to need another cannon. We got here a Ford Assembly up with medics on the way there for Redwings, and we got the Churchill on the way there as well for the 11th Armoured Division. Oh, he actually does pop into it. Ooh, apparently did not learn that Redwings might try and do that again. There we go, truck on the way. So Caesar is thankfully not going to try and just play for a Command Panther. That would be a rather severe folly. And to tank and opening up, full trying to get out of cover. They're quickly being assaulted here by a lot of British infantry. They would all have to fall back soon. So slightly safe position. Flak up and got Storm Pilots flanking behind though. The main assault here realising their tank is reasonably exposed to this now. Vickers covering up that part. Artillery called in here. That's going to ruin the mines by the way. Enemy filtering up behind a tree, and there you go, artillery fire, setting off the mine, but not so much else. And now comes Caesar's really big problem here. The Churchill from the 11th Armoured Division rolling out here, engaging, shooting wildly around it. And there you go, Ken Flange hit the Churchill though, can't soak up a lot of rockets. Grenade off, wiped, and with that Caesar's got 9 tank weapons. He's going to have to go for more Academy to have a chance. And obviously he also needs to set up that Schwerpanzer quarters. But he's going to need more Academy efforts, he's going to need a bunch more. Panzerfaust failed to make any real impact there on the Churchill tank. An actual Panzerfaust though would have done the trick, since that one was generally pretty lethal. Obviously that wouldn't so obviously do so well in terms of actual game downs. There you go, mine goes off. No additional cameras there for Caesar. No tech. Oh, there you go. Looks like the truck's finally on the move again. He'll probably have to go for Jagdpanzer to have a chance to versus Redwings arm. And there you go, Redwings has gone for Doctrine. It is Royal Artillery. Royal Artillery providing further support here for the 11th Armoured Division. As many guns as they can muster have been secured for the next big push against the Germans into the Ruhr district. And there you go, replacement Academy for Caesar for the 21st Panzer Division. Mines down there. Hitting the fuel pond there again. He's certainly able to go for Jagdpanzer pretty soon. He could transfer up for a Panther, though that would be a bit in the risky end of the spectrum, but definitely doable. Definitely doable. Particularly can hold both fuel points for some time. It is very much doable. Sappers moving ahead here. MD-34 on its own. Mine spotted. The Sapper supporting it find themselves suppressed. And there goes Schwerpanzer goes up there. We see a bit of a problem here for Caesar. Again, he's going to have to really support it fast before he loses the Schwerpanzer quarters. It's out that he's have to go for the Jagdpanzer now. MD-34 taken out by the Churchill. Grenade lobbed out. Pretty much ended it on the spot. Flak half text jump has been rushed forward. In the west, we got Volksgrenadiers holding up, defending the western fuel point from the Tommy onslaught. And there you go. He ends up going for the Panzer IV versus a Churchill tank though. That's definitely not the recommendable move. The Panzer IV does not have amazing penetration, and that's not, I think, the most suited choice for dealing with it. You really should either want a Jagdpanzer or a Panther to deal with the Churchill tank. So that definitely feels to me like the worst out of 3 choices. We'll have to see. Oh no! Get away! Get away! Get away! Caesar 9! It's still under artillery fire. It's airburst rounds. Airburst rounds. Those are really nasty for the infantry. We got a Valentine tank out here with Redwings. That's going to get Panzer Fausted. And then send those Germans running, and there you go, Panzer IV out. Panzerkampfwagen can begin fixing up the Schwerpanzer quarters. Note the Germans also had access to airburst shells. In fact, they had them for the 30mm flak and 88mm flak. That's a fun note. Flak half-track veteran T1, 2 kills. Hasn't done that much so far versus Redxwings in that sense. So what we'll see is aim for next Jagdpanzer, Command Panther, regular Panther, just more Panzer IVs. And we got, there we go, he's using the observation mode on the Valentine tank to scout ahead with. Cheeky. Spotting here the flak after exposition of Kedman being assaulted as well, and there you go, wiped out again. Quite lost it for season. He needs more careful with his anti-tank weapons. They obviously need to be protected and screened by infantry, otherwise, well, he can just try it with the Churchill, clear them out with a grenade, as you might have noticed happened 2 times in a row. And one of his own mines went off there. Ah, scheisse. Got a lot of folks moving up, but that's a pretty big loss there for Caesar. The Kedman was stolen, and his Panzer IV's close being taken out here already. We got a Valentine tank moving in as well here. Anti-tank opening up. Oh, he actually lacks anti-tank on the main gunner. There you go. Damage engine on the Churchill tank. The Kedman on the way there. Penetrating hit from the Churchill on the Panzer IV, which is desperately trying to escape here. Heavy fire there. There we go. Almost got the Valentine tank, but it's almost got the Panzer IV. And the Panzer IV is down. The Panzer IV is down. Ah, scheisse. And the Valentine gets away. A harsh loss there for Caesar for the German army. And there goes, steals the anti-tank here in the centre. The question is, can he get away with it? Since the sappers nearby and a lot more infantry, sort of rather poor support forces need to retreat by the way. There you go, lands a hit on the rear of the Churchill tank. His infantry is getting bled up pretty heavily. All of a sudden, I think really did him a lot of good versus some of Redxwings troops, but they're certainly not appearing so far. Third Arcadian effort for Caesar. Third Arcadian effort. They do get lost a lot. And we got weapon racks up here for Redxwings with a few Bren guns being handed out now. Valentine and Churchill are being repairs. For in fact, they're sort of basically the same class of tank, which is known as an infantry tank. This tank's meant to support infantry. Those who might be noticing, there's a bit of a size difference between the two, obviously indicating there's a bit of change in sort of high infantry tanks we're going to be needing in terms of equipment and all that, and armour for that matter. Till the fire getting on the Schwerpanzer quarters. Will he try for another Panzer IV, or will he realise he needs something with a bit more penetration, a bit more ability to threaten enemy armour like the Churchill tank? I mean, he could now try and go for the Command Panther, but that's still going to take some time there compared to just the regular Panther. There we go, another Raketenwerfer for Caesar. Second Raketenwerfer. Troops will press there, trying to set up in the western field point. Both tanks are still in repairs, and the MG-34 they got wiped. That is definitely not good there for Caesar. Looks like he is not aiming here for the Panzer IV, but either the Panther or the Command Panther. And what is this? He's going for Bofors now? Of all the things he's aiming at researching, he's now researching the Bofors? Wow, that's certainly going to stand out there. Orbison really would do, I think, Caesar some good with an MG-34. They could sort of, deal with a lot of Redxwings infantry. I think at much safer ranges and a lot more cost efficiently. Oh, I could just equip him with the infrared Sturmgewehr. Bit more to go for being calling in the regular Panther. Again, he could very well aim for the Command Panther. Good Lord, hiccups. Really annoying hiccups. There we go, securing back the MG-34, and we got the Valentine there, sort of scouting ahead. And this is the wedge repairs. Captain, do you see anything? I see a lot of Germans, though I'm not entirely sure how they look. It's sort of all red and fussy somehow. And we got a Sexton out. We got a Sexton out for Redxwings. Sexton self-propelled artillery. Good lord. Based on a Canadian attempt making a Sherman tank that was known as the Ram, was rather discontinued because they got so many Shermans. There wasn't really much point in it. It is equipped with a 25-pounder gun. And there you go, opening up here on German position. Like Kevin getting hammered by the 25-pounder gun of the Sexton.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
There we go.
Supply lines being cut.
Still, Caesar's maintaining good map control despite all of this. Yeah, he's aiming for the Command Panther. He's going to need to fix up the Valentine though. And there you go. The Fields Panther out here for Caesar for the 21st Panzer Division. There you go, Churchill sending out to engage the Volksgrenadiers. Command Panther, when you got infantry supporting in the command, or the Churchill tank, very good. Flak half track, just awaiting something to shoot at and something to keep the bloody Churchill up in. There you go, engages nonetheless. Panther moves in, gets a good hit here on the Churchill tank with its high velocity 25mm gun. Commonwealth is screaming in, 6-pounder gun following up here. Trying to stay clear of the anti-tank weapons, obviously. More fire there from the Churchill tanks. It slowly pulls back, It's obviously not keen on just feeding the Panther. There we go, Panther hits a mine. Oh dear, Caesar needs to get better checking with the mines around here because Redxwings has been mining a lot and that's never going to hurt him. That's going to prevent him from pushing in the Panther fast here. Sexton by ready to fire again. We got the 25-pounder guns now also firing. So we can see there, Redxwings is just unleashing all of the British artillery versus Caesar right now. All of it. Need to retreat the Volksgrenadiers. Flag half deck doing the counter support, closing eventually 2 seconds out in the open there, getting hammered, or at least behind light cover, it's getting flanked. Flag half deck getting hit against the tank, needs to pop smoke, fall back, but it's not realising what's going on there. Pop smoke, but it could be too late here, could be too late. Troops getting hit here, but I think it's the. Yes, it's the Sexton. The Sexton opening up there now. So much artillery, so much death. 6-pounder gun wiped out, but that's about it. In the west there we got footsteps back. Section mine goes off, further causing casualties. 11th Armoured not having an easy time on the western flank. You should hit the fuel point there, and he should A, get the Panther fixed up, and then consider getting out some armor as fast as possible. He might want to consider taking his jump on his squad to keep up the repairs, so he could go for a mechanized regiment. Though obviously should not be then play for a King Tiger, but rather there's some more medium armor. Second Panther could help here, I think, versus all of this with a regular Panther supported, or the Command Panther coordinated fire. Or you could just go for Panther Force, but there you go. Churchill tank with the damaged engine, 22 or 1 kills here with veterancy 2, that's pretty good.
Tank ready and waiting. Ready for orders.
Valentine's running about there. The Valentines was exported to the Soviets as part of a Lend-Lease program then between the British and the Soviets. Well, Lend-Lease, I think it's just, sort of support, they aid. They sort of sent in there. The Russians, I believe, were actually quite pleased with them, sort of make use of them in reasonable numbers. Fun fact there. They also received Churchill tanks, which were used, I believe, in Guards, heavy tank battalions or something like that.
The enemy cut our supply line.
Flag half track there is 32, that's pretty good. Redxwings might want to try for some more daring manoeuvres here versus Caesar. They're trying to launch an armoured assault, which moves support from a certain angle, and that way try and catch these off guard. Run these sort of head-on assaults, which should require some more finesse in some ways, but also yes, the more intensive just blocking. Oh no, what are you doing with the flag half track? And he got taken out. I'm guessing that was a misclick or a massive pathing error. Either way, that flag half track went down in flames in a matter of moments. That's got to be frustrating. And there you go, Kedmov down here to the Sexton now with 9 kills. That was definitely a bad engagement there for Caesar. That was a really bad one. Bit of a misclick there, whatever again happened, and he just, boom, got gutted. Mechanized regiment on the way there for Caesar. He's then going to follow up with something afterwards that's soon to support his Panther, because on his own it's not going to work out. In particular, if Redxwings gets more stuff. He's rather close to Popcat at the moment, and thus he can't. Panther moving hit, Fulton's moving in, they're going to grab the light infantry gun, never the Student Pioneer. Caesar's still overall getting a lot of fuel. In fact, he's getting 45 fuel per minute now, that's a ton. that is a ton. And also really only possible on a map like Crossroads for the Orbital Command, since it's one of the few maps that actually have a lot more fuel than those standard maps. It's also one of the reasons why Crossroads gets to snowball a lot harder than other maps, because again there's just so much more fuel available. Redxwings suffering some losses here. Could in theory go for another Valentine soon if it keeps up. Needs manpower though for the mechanized regiment. Command Panther just sort of driving about, swooping in a few hits here and there versus the Tommies. In the east though we got a big push here from Redxwings, so big-ish push, going to try and sneak about and behind Caesar's front line here. Very good work there by Redxwings. In the west, anti-tank is pursuing the suffering losses here from machine gun fire. Landing still hits on the Command Panther. So all of a sudden looks like the tables are being slowly turned on Caesar once more as his forces crumble, and Redxwings trying to mount this to sort of push ahead. And there you go, lost another gun crew, this time again the light infantry gun, and sets about destroying it there with his Valentine tank. Sexton almost good to go again. Kenworth has spotted, push back. Mechanized regiment, and for you could actually briefly see all of the other assets that are sort of supposed to pop up there below the half track there. That's a bit of a rare sight. So that way it's possible you sort of slowly rise up. My god, those Tommies have so much artillery. Where's ours? They're out of ammo. Oh, yeah. Which in fact was quite common for the German war effort, in particular in the late stages of the war, though in many cases we just had a few shells to fire every day, which was then usually only safe for emergencies. Comparatively, the Western Allies had a lot of artillery to utilise. There you go, more shots just going off in the west here. The 25-pounder guns I think aren't getting any rest. Like he's called in here with here, like he's just firing away liberally, and I imagine the Sexton soon has already fired as well. Command Panther finding out with the Churchill missing and already taking a lot of damage. So be careful, and of course remember stay at max distance as much as possible with the Command Panther or any Panther, since their arm is a lot more effective at range than up close. Smokescreen down from the Valentines. The Churchill flanks about like Kednev is here. Not good, not good. Command Panther shoots. Penetrate. We got an ace Churchill tank out here. There you go. Grenade on the Kednev, though. One of his only kills too close. It takes pretty much no damage. But the MU-34 might have a bit of an bigger impact. There you go. You might want to pop incendiary arms around to increase damage with the anti-tank guns. Churchill being forced, well, we can forced back here. Command Panther still lulling back as well for Caesar. Churchill is actually laying down the Smokescreen. There you go. Another hit though from the Panther. Another gun crew lost. Looks like I know, I'm not entirely sure when they're probably the MU-34, and they're going to send it off with back troops there. Trying to get the MU-34. We got the Sexton firing a close quarters barrage there against the MU-34. 11 kills close to veterans 1. Command Panther still being fixed up. Mechanized regiment is up as lacking repair pioneers. He might of course find himself compelled to go for some armor though first. Panther 4, another Panther. Both could work out. Though I really also think Caesar should strongly be considering some orbital done just to sort of put some more edge versus Redxwings infantry. Infantry gets light machine gun, other could work out I think beautifully there for Caesar and the 21st Panzer Division. Fixing up there. Fully called in. He's just liberally flat, lobbing it left and right here at Caesar now. And there you go, folks, immediately forced back. Caesar's going for Stukas of Fuss. I mean, he obviously wants maybe to catch one to wipe it out, but still, I feel like the Stukas of Fuss isn't that great of an artillery piece unless you're like really good with it, and most players tend not to be really good with it. And even then, it can certainly be played around to an extent. So, I'm not sure this is the best choice. I really think you should just aim for more tanks, more firepower, and some orbital done. There's been definitely an increase in Commonwealth players going for orbital, and they're definitely good. Yeah, it's then at the same time a bit strange than see other players just not bother with them at all. Like a pair of orbital could do a ton of damage if well utilised. But there you go. We got heavy sabers out here for Redxwings and the 11th Armoured. Mines being laid down. Oh, laying down. There you go. Kenner for down. Stukas almost down there for Caesar. The Stukas was basically just a regular 250.5 tech with a bunch of, you know, rocket frames to mount on the side. No, by these sort of one-time usage, you basically sort of had a wooden frame with a rocket in it. You fire it. They could also be fired from the sort of more static positions on the ground. As a fun note, in fact, there's sort of entire batteries of those as well. For example, there are a few that fought in Normandy, usually part of sort of defences there for Normandy Beach. Well, we'll see what he tries to target and destroy here with the Stukas. There you go, Stukas firing, unleashing hell, 6 rockets. 28 centimeters, and there you go, going for the machine guns, wiping one. And that's about it. Didn't get the anti-tank ones, which probably sort of put as a higher threat. They can actually stop, you know, Caesar's tanks in its tracks, but there you go. Machine gun crew dead is still something there for Caesar, though it can be crewed here by Redxwings. There comes the very long reload time there for Caesar. And we got a buffers up here to cover the western victory point. Redxwings is definitely not playing the Brits as they usually play. There's no Centaurs, you got Valentines, Churchills, Sextons, and you got a Bofors 40mm anti-aircraft gun. Closing in eventually free there with the MG-34 as it's slowly being pushed back there by the Tommies. And we got more to the corner. He's just calling it in left and right again. He just, as he sees a chance to call in, he calls it in, and it actually is, you know, making things harder here for Caesar. Redxwings floating a lot of resources because he can't really spend them on anything except maybe in placements and the likes. Push for the centre victory point. Machine gun has, I think, been destroyed entirely. Command Panther running slow support here. Anti-tank only up, getting a penetrating hit there on the Panther frontal armour. Valentine there's going to get Panther faster again. Stukas was almost good to unleash hell once more. We got the Churchill tank by with 31 kills. That's 23. An ace crew in a really big tank. First getting blasted by the Churchill tank. Come out pulling in there, go hit some ammo Riken there. Artillery fire raining down here near the Riken. They can probably force retreat, and there you go. But he might risk losing troops here on the retreat to the 25-pounder gun of the Sexton, which is closing in one there, 14 kills. Stukas unleashing hell here. What will he hit? Will he actually hit anything? Is he just blind firing here versus Redxwings? Alright, got a sapper squad, bit of damage on some of the vehicles. But the anti-tank guns are largely intact, and thusly will still continue to be a threat here to Caesar. There he goes, going to creep out, he's going to call it until he hasn't fixed the Schwerpunted quarters. Redxwings sees his chance. Caesar hasn't called in any additional armour either, or any orbitals. So right here, those Redxwings should be able to finish that and prevent Caesar from fighting support for his command panther. I mean, the Schwerpunted quarters essentially only served as an emplacement and not actually as, you know, base element, providing him with, you know, forces, which is not good for Caesar because he can't call in anything else in terms of armor. I mean, he can't call in the King Tiger because of the Command Panther, so this is really bad for Caesar. This is incredibly bad and pretty big for Redxwings. I mean, he could go for Pumas, but they're not going to be massively impactful versus the Churchill tank. Of course, it also means he can't get any opposite on, that's meaning he can't threaten the Redxwings infantry nearly as well as he could have, I think. Fact, those begin to exhibit signs of Stalingrad syndrome as they're both just now completely just slugging it out of the centre, ignoring the sides, the flanks of the map, though Redxwings is the one displaying a bit more, I think, mental awareness. They're sort of putting more pressure on it compared to Caesar's just now utterly focused on the centre. He's just constantly pouring men and equipment into it, not caring about the results of the resources. He's actually going in for another track, another Schwerpunted quarters, since that's what it is, essentially all he can do with the resources anyways. Since he can't go for tanks. And here goes 17 kills, Veterans 1 on the Sexton. We got Veterans 1 on the Valentine as well, allowing that one to call in a Sexton barrage as well. Oh dear, that can be a lot of artillery that Redxwings can call in. A lot of artillery. Eastern point here, Panther with Sturm Pioneer pushing up against the sections here. We got more artillery called in.
The enemy are at 200 points.
Concentration barrage. Well, aren't our barrages always concentrated anyway? Shut up, Jeremy. Stop trying to ruin our fun. It sounds cooler. Concentration barrage. You know.
Tank ready.
36 kills. Panther just drives straight through the artillery barrage. Survives. Close to 52. Then there you go. Does hit it. Does hit it. Shuts and at it. But Redxwing seems to be slowly strangling the life out of Caesar here. Very slowly, very surely. And control most of the map again.
Churchill tank ready for orders.
You can see Caesar finally realises he can't just keep pushing into the centre. He has to try and flank it out. I mean, he has to try and get elsewhere and there, going to gain the Churchillist shots. Fire, penetrating. The Keddenfer shoots, fails to penetrate. Churchill penetrates at max range against the Panther. There you go, 2 penetrating on the Churchill tank. Panther being flanked by the tank guns. Need to fall back, need to fall back. Oh, scheisse. Several shots bouncing. They're pretty lucky for Caesar in the east. Another push here, running into the British infantry. No grenades though, which does help out a bit. Schwerpunted quarters is not going to be built against Stukas with fires and hits. Absolutely nothing. A huge waste of barrage. That is essentially close to 2 minutes then. That Stukas is going to do nothing. And this is also another reason why I'm not particularly a huge fan of the Stukas. It just has so massive cooldowns for what little damage you can do in many cases. It just ends up, you know, being sort of like if you miss with it, you're just pretty much on your own. Comparatively, the Sexton I think it should shoot more often.
Enemies trying to take a point from us.
Sorry, but we're being bloody shot at.
So much artillery though, just constant barrages from Redxwings by now. Valentine rolling hit straight into the Pantherfaust.
Tank ready and waiting. Our supply line's broken.
Receiving you loud and clear.
Valentine rolling back, 8 kills. Skirmishing here, we get a big push though from Redxwings against the eastern field point. Caesar has set up the second Schwerpunter course this time around his calf point, less exposed here against anything Redxwings might do. Also a lot hard to keep up on. There's no blind spots like here where you could just, you know, run up, call artillery in and then just run away.
Engine ticking over.
A very, very sort of patchwork macro situation here for Caesar at the moment. 21st Panzer Division has been rather bogged down to just NG-34s, Volksgrenadiers, Redxwings, a few bits of vehicles and armour. The Sturm Pioneers and certainly nothing else besides the Panther and the armour department. There you go, Churchill moves ready here for the Schwerpunter's quarters. We will have to immediately defend it with this command Panther to have a chance, and there you go, till he called in. Meaning Caesar could risk losing his Schwerpunter's quarters before it even gets to do anything. I think, yeah, that looks like what's going to happen there. And the tank is moving up, and there you go, Caesar further punished here. Destroyed, and now the strategic victory there for Redxwings, leaving Caesar now definitely without any possibility of calling in armour or something again, anything sort of really help long term versus Redxwings. Ed Valentine is slowly approaching Veteran T2. There you go, Kenneth Lentz got here, and the Churchill passing through the side armour. But that Churchill is resilient and can take quite a few beatings. And there goes Stukas fires and gets, I think, a single kill? Yup, a single kill. And then again, another 2 minutes before the Stukas can do anything again. I mean, that is a massive downtime. And I do think Caesar could have, benefited from something else than the Stukas I mean, a Panther 4 or anything else, I think, would have done him a lot more good than a Stukas
Ready to bombard with the base howitzers.
in particular, since none of those have a 2-minute cooldown period before he can do anything again. I probably could have done more consistent damage to Redxwings, to be honest. More artillery raining down. He's just laying it down thick across the front here. The only artillery he isn't using is the ability here from the Valentine to call in artillery as well. Sabres flying behind. I got foot was the section here. Panther being fixed up. Close to Vetchny 3, actually that's pretty neat there for Caesar, but the question is, can it sort of help him turn the match around? Can it save Germany in this sector? Forces are being slowly pinned down here by the section. We got enemy for forward firing support for the Volksgrenadiers, making it harder for the Tommies to advance, do what they want. Up here close to the victory point, we got forces dealing with the sappers, assault rifles there, beating Sten guns.
The enemy have 75 points left.
75 points left for Caesar. Things are not looking good for the 21st. Not looking good. Flares popping off there for Caesar, looking for targets, I imagine. Stukas can fire again. Hitting the eastern victory point once more. Panther almost good to go. Almost. Third spare panzer quarters for Caesar. Third one. Attacking into the base. Oh, good lord. That actually had an impact there. There were only 5 kills. Didn't even get a wipe, but still that is something as opposed there for Caesar. Better than some of his previous barrages, to be honest. Close to Red 2, which will certainly help a bit in terms of cooldowns.
Enemy causing trouble.
And what is this? We got perimeter overwatch. Oh dear. That's going to make it harder for Caesar to do anything. There's now the 25 pounds just going to fire liberally at anything within, the tech sectors. Then they're going to, in this case, the ones trying to grab the fuel point are going to be subjected to a lot of British artillery interest. Meanwhile, in the west, we got the Command Panther versus the Churchill tank, which is coordinated 5 to increase the damage down there. The Kevs opening up, need to flank deal with that. Oh dear, the Panther's taking too much damage too fast. It is closing in, eventually feeling the increased rate of fire and all that, but the question is going to do anything with it. Shot bounce, the Scrap Hunt's called against some hits in the Churchill tank. Need to fall back with the Command Panther for some more repairs. Very, very close to the feed, but at the same time, not quite. There it goes. Spare Panther, of course, going to get focused down again. And down that goes. 46 killed by on the Churchill tank. 46. Landing hit there with the Command Panther. Almost getting the Churchill, but once more he just retreats and falls back. And what is this? All the way over here by the fuel point. Valentine tank rolling through, clearing out whatever stuff Caesar's then pushing it away. Close Vetchny 2. Perimeter Overwatch bar is still active. Pushing ahead despite it. And of course, kinda has to. I mean, he's down to 59 versus the 150 there. Oh, he's about to lose the Command Panther there. Shot bounce, pretty lucky. There we go. Vetchny 3, but he needs to pull it back for repairs. Like Rutland could sneeze and that Panther would fall apart now. So much artillery, so much. Just constant barrages. I have no idea how many shells they're spending during this battle against Caesar. But I'm pretty sure they're also not particularly caring about it. Stukas fires again, trying to get some damage done here. Will it matter? Will it have an impact? Not really. 18 kills, close to 2. Got the trench flank against the Volksgrenadiers. Of Valentine, I mean. Command Panther being repaired, but it's going to take some time for that additional steel punch repair. There goes, forced to pull ahead with the heavily damaged Panther. There was not at times uncommon to see a Panther being, or tank being sent ahead there despite not being full repair. In fact, suffering some rather degraded issues. In some cases, tanks being hit without the threats actually being added to the tank, which obviously was not good for it. Almost got the Valentine. Oh, the main gun went out just as you're about to. Oh no! Valentine is out of control, but the Panther's main gun is out. Oh dear. And we got another Valentine out there for Redxwings. Another Valentine. Yeah, he's just playing so much because he can't really spend the resources. Like, you know, can't afford. Well, he could maybe call in some medium armor now, but beyond that, though, I mean, he's just got so much he can't really spend it. You usually don't see that often. 41 was under 51. Command Panther there receiving repairs.
What's next then?
Pioneers wondering if they can get a new barrel in time enough for the repairs.
It's a bit touch and go.
MD34 hitting Redxwings 4. Not too bad, but a bit useless against the Valentine. 35 versus under 51. Command Panther repaired, got more MG34s than for Caesar. Stukas of us rolling ahead. Troops reinforcing healing. Panther halfway fixed up. 30 points left here for Caesar. Fixing up the Ford assembly here as the medics just sort of stand about watching, crouching, all looking cool. Look at this! I can crouch! Just shut up, Bob. There's a reason you became a medic, and that's because you're too stupid to do anything else. Oh.
The enemy have 25 points left.
Another perimeter watch. You'd rarely see this ability. I think this is the first time I've seen it used twice in a match. I mean, hell, I haven't seen it used in months.
Take one of our points.
I mean, that's neat. Definitely neat. Makes it harder here for Caesar to push for any of the victory points. They'll be under perimeter watch. And you got 13 points left for Caesar. 25 points firing away. Priest firing away there. Halfway. Priest Sexton firing away there. 4 victory points. 2. And GG, game over. Loss here for Caesar. Loss for the 21st Panzer Division. Going to have to fall back here. Their forces shattered and broken here by Redxwings' stalwart attacks and defences. Utilising the highly effective Churchill with the 48 kills, Valentine, 6-pounder guns, Sextons, a lot of 25-pounder guns, so this is definitely not your usual great match for sure. I mean, overall the issue for Caesar was just, you know, he just sort of, I think, did it about too much at certain stages, not enough flanking, not enough manoeuvre, but also just the way he handled armour, and the Stukas of also feel like it was a weak choice. You just aim for more armour, faster, something that needs to penetrate the Churchill. Yak Panthers of Panthers, rather than trying to play for Panther 4, Sex, and Stukas of Forces, the Command Panther, you know, did alright as the game went on, but he never was quite able to deal with that Church, and that really put some serious pressure on Caesar, and for some reason they really took it quite seriously, losing a lot of their kit members to just drying out and popping, you know, the crew self-defense ability, highlighting just how good that actually is. So well played by Redxwings. So nice play by Caesar, but ultimately again strategically running out of speed too fast. Also a lack of Obersoldaten, I would say, was also I think a crucial misstep there by Caesar. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, one, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send a new player and provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Lynching. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another running episode. Bye.